Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy here, Pragmatic Win. Today I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different. So I have the digging deeper thing I do, and it's a podcast of sorts. Anyways, I'm gonna do something kind of like a mini podcast where I just sort of talk about one topic for a few minutes, and I'm just gonna leave a black screen up because I don't think there's any need for any fancy in the background or anything like that. It's just very what is it, low effort, just simple me chatting for a few minutes. So what I want to talk about is the Pokemon card industry, quote unquote, as it is now. I've been talking about it a lot recently because it's been very frustrating, and I want to talk about it not because where it's at right now is devastating to me or anything, just because I think it's very unique and interesting to be a part of it right now. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe where it's at now and sort of my story with it and how we got here and whatnot and what it's going to look like in the future. Okay, so let's talk about where we are right now, and then I'll describe my story up until then. So basically, right now, Pokemon cards are the buzz yet again. Like I literally saw Conan O'Brien tweet about it. And I don't know. I mean, he's sort of in the loop on stuff. He got to be the talk show host. But I feel like if he said, Pokemon card to the buzz again, right? So if he says that, then it's getting a lot of media attention. But basically, um, a lot of big YouTubers are cracking open old Pokemon boxes of cards that are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's created this insane demand because people that aren't into Pokemon are seeing these huge numbers. That's what they do, right? They clickbait these thumbnails with like $200,000, stuff like that. And so people that see these huge numbers are like, holy crap, dude, Pokemon cards are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So naturally they get in on it. And what they do is they do these breaks where they split up a box into the packs, and then they have various people buy in on these packs so that they make their money back on the boxes that are so expensive, which they could afford anyways, but they make their money back on the packs. And then uh, they also have people watching, like tons of people watch these breaks, so they're also getting a lot of revenue for that. So they're basically exploiting Pokemon cards as some kind of cash cow, not because they actually like Pokemon, but just because they like money, basically. But so what this has done is not only created where there's like this big hump for like old Pokemon sets, but this is trickled down into the new sets. So, and just Pokemon cards in general, right? So you can't find Pokemon card product anywhere. And I'm not even talking like the good stuff, like anything. It's just all gone. And I've heard stories and reports from people saying that uh some people will follow the trucks that carry Pokemon cards in traffic, follow them to where they put them out at, and just immediately buy up all the product. I mean, that's like ridiculous. Not even just for anything. I mean, you don't have you don't have to have Pokemon cards that bad. And the fact that anyone would do that, I mean, it's just a problem, right? And like if I as a young adult with money and I can make my own choices and stuff like that, and know when dates for stuff comes out. If I know exactly when something's coming out and still can't get a hold of it, you best believe that kids can't get a hold of it, like the intended audience. So, um, like the most recent English set, Vivid Voltage, I was super excited for. Because there's a lot of cool cards in there that I wanted. No, and there was one card, Darmanitan VMAX, that I wanted to pull. It's not like even a rare card or even that valuable. I just wanted to pull it just to be fun. It's gonna be fun. But I mean, you can't get the packs. I mean, you just can't get them unless you want to buy them for more online, which I'm not going to do. I'm not buying something for more than retail. I'm just not going to do it. Call me stubborn or whatever, um, but yeah, and it's very frustrating because I want to open these English sets, but you have to now you pretty much have to pre-order them months ahead, and a lot of these websites will charge you a ton more even just pre-ordering than what it's actually at retail is. So that's where we're at. Basically, all product is just super expensive as some kind of like cash cow type ordeal. So let me just sort of give you like my story about how we're here. So, um, well, I collected cards when I was little, like Pokemon cards, and then for many years I didn't. And then when I started working at Dollar General, probably almost 2 years ago now, a year and a half, something like that. They had the 3 card packs, like cheap. They're $1 for 3 cards, and the set was Unbroken Bonds. If anyone's curious, but they had those packs, and we'd get them. We get some like every week in stock, and I would get. I saw those and I was intrigued. Like, wow, Pokemon product and a Dollar General. So I was intrigued by that. So I would get like literally one pack since they're only $1. Like every shift, I would get one pack, and I was like, I'm gonna keep opening these until I get an ultra rare card, which took me a very long time, by the way, because those packs are not good. But anyways, so by me buying so many packs, I eventually just sort of got into the cards in general, and then I started collecting more, and I would whenever I was going to Northeast at the time, I would go to Walmart and get some packs after class and whatnot. And then so I did that for a while, and then there's a new set that got announced called Hidden Fates. And keep in mind, this is before the craziness, a while before it, I should say. So you could find Pokemon products, in lots of stores. Like it's just normal. You could go in there and find some. Obviously, the new Hot Buzz sets, it wasn't gonna sit around for too long, but you could still find it. But anyways, so they announced a new set called Hidden Fates that was gonna have a ton of shiny full art cards that are gonna be very hype and very expensive. Um, and my friend Jerry, I mean, everybody knows my boy Jerry. He does card stuff now. He wasn't into the cards at the time, and I told him, I was like, look, man, uh, this new set that's gonna come out, Hidden Fates, you need to get into this set because it's going to be very valuable. And I just knew ahead of time. Um, and the sort of unfortunate thing, I guess, is I didn't even know how accurate that was because um, Hidden Fates still even now is one of the most expensive modern sets to to get a hold of. But anyway, so yeah, eventually he got into the cards as well, and that sort of became our thing, like what we do. We would every like couple weeks or few weeks or so, me and him would go around North Mississippi, North Alabama, like literally travel all over and just go to different Walmarts and see what kind of stuff we could find. Not even like resell. We would resell a little bit, but Like we'd get some to open and or rip as we call it, and some to resell. Cause we're some broke Mississippi boys. We're 21. Didn't have a job at that time. Neither one of us did, and we're gonna make a little bit of money because product was still a bit hard to find. Like the new sets, still a bit hard to find, so people would pay more for them online. But I mean, you would sort of expect that with new sets. There's a lot of hype for it. I mean, it's gonna be hard to find, and it's not like before the craziness that Pokemon was unheard of. Obviously not. I mean, Pokemon is the most popular media franchise of all time, and it was before the card craziness, and it will be after. So, but anyways, so yeah, we would go around and find all sorts of stuff, and and that was like something we really enjoyed. Like we'd ride around and talk about life stuff, talk about cards, man. It was a good time, and we. I'm trying to think of what the last set that we could really do that for. Probably when Champions Path came out, which was back in the latter, like the beginning of the second half of 2020, I think we would go around and do that. Which Champions Path was really hard to find a lot of times. Um, but the thing is that yeah, it would be difficult to find Champions Path, but you could get other Pokemon product as well. Like the other older stuff, like older than like 6 months to a year, would still be all over there. And like I mean, if you wanted to open packs of some kind, you could do it. But and then I would say probably around the time of Vivid Voltage coming out in November, I think, is when the card hype goes through the roof, right? With Logan Paul and all these other guys just exploiting Pokemon cards. And then now Vivid Voltage is impossible to find, as well as everything else. Um, I mean, if you go to Walmart, look at the Pokemon card section, everything's gone. Not not just good sets. I mean everything. It's pretty absurd, right? And like I was looking on eBay yesterday, and 2 packs of XY Phantom Forces, which was a pretty average set, I'm pretty sure, but very mediocre set. Most of the XY sets are so, at least to me. 2 packs going for $60+. Like that's absolutely absurd. Just because it's like 5 years old. XY came out in 2013, so Phantom Forces I assume came out 5 to 6 years ago, somewhere around there. But yeah, man, it's ridiculous. And I there's a few cards. So I buy cards on eBay a lot more than I even open packs because one, it's cheaper, right? So every literally almost every Pokemon card printed is significantly cheaper for you to just buy from someone than to pull it. Unless you get lucky, of course, but that's very unlikely. I mean, that's just the way it is, and I mean, I like it like that. But so I do a lot of eBay auctions, as I mean, but and I and there's some cards that I bought like from Hidden Fates, some of the shiny full arts I bought, and not long after Hidden Fates came out, like the shiny Lucario and the shiny Greninja and the shiny Rayquaza full arts I bought for like 10 to 15 bucks. And you may think that's a lot if you don't know much about Pokemon cards to spend that much on a card. And well, they are going for well over. Well, I would say I'd give an average about $100 a piece now, just because I mean, you can't find the cards now. I mean, you can't get Hidden Fate product whatsoever, and it's crazy to me. And there's like a Japanese Lily promo I bought. Like you had to get it from Japan. I think it's well over $100 now. That may be graded, but I'm not sure. But I think it is nearing there, like even ungraded. Um, but yeah, man, it's just crazy to me that it's gotten where it is, and it's very frustrating because I mean, me and Jerry can't go out and look for cards anymore. There's no point. There's not gonna be anything there. Um, that was like a very great bonding time for me and him. You know, like cool time for us to hang out and chat about stuff. Now, um, I mean, you just can't do that. We have to order it ahead of time or stuff like that. It's frustrating, but and we've been talking about it for a while. And he said I was talking to him about it, and he said all this hype and stuff gonna crash and burn eventually. And like, yeah, it will. It'll take a while though, I think, but once the sort of hype from all of this, opening expensive boxes ends, and then people realize, wow, um, these modern sets aren't actually just some kind of like infinite money supply. The people that don't have the true passion for the cards will leave once they see it's not profitable. I mean, Pokemon cards aren't stocks in a company. They're not. They're pieces of cardboard that some people like to collect. And it'll run dry eventually just because there's no way it can keep up with the demand, the insane demand. It'll peter out. Um, I, as far as my predictions for when it will happen, I think once the large influence of the coronavirus ends, basically we can go back to normal everyday living. I think it will subside a lot because people will be going outside and doing stuff, and they're like, I mean, I don't want to go keep opening Pokemon cards when there's so much else I can go out and do. So a lot of the hot beasts will give up on that, I think. And um, so there, and with more sets that come out, as long as they don't keep putting like rare Charizards in these new sets, then the new sets will also sort of lose hype. Because Pokemon Company really shot themselves in the foot, which maybe this is what they want, I don't know. But in the Sword and Shield sets, there's been a Charizard in a vast majority, if not almost every set, just because Charizard sells and then it creates the hype and people are buying it out like crazy. There was there a Charizard? I think, yeah, there's a Charizard like Hollow in Vivid Voltage. And then, but Battle Styles, the new set that's coming out, I do not believe there is a Charizard in that set, thankfully. So maybe people will not go crazy for it. I mean, they will some, but maybe not as much as Vivid Voltage. I didn't even talk about Shining Fates. Shining Fate's basically impossible to get. I don't even want to talk about that. I didn't think that set was very good anyway. I thought it was very average, or at least it's supposed to be like a successor to Hidden Fates. And as soon as I saw like the card list, I was like, it doesn't even come close. But people are so like hive mindish and don't even actually look at stuff, and they just see shiny and they lose their mind. Like the enchantment per se of something being rare and quote unquote shiny just makes people lose their mind. And it really doesn't to me too much. I mean, I like it some, but you know, people are enchanted by that idea, and I think that it really does come to a gambling thing when all you're going after the expensive chase cards. But yeah, I'm nearing 20 minutes, so I'll end it in just a minute or two. But basically, I want it to be largely centered around people enjoying the cards in the game because I think that's what makes it most enjoyable. Obviously, Pokemon cards having an economy is good, and I like that people can resell cards and get them graded, resell them, and even sell some product to each other. But I just don't like all the scalping and whatnot, and I hope that it ends soon. And it'll end eventually, but I just wanted to kind of talk about it because I think it's a very interesting time. to sort of be in with the Pokemon cards and the community. And yeah, I kind of, living during interesting times, I kind of like to document my thoughts during the time, like how I did that Digging Deeper podcast, sort of recapping 2020. I think that, living in the age of the internet is a huge plus that basically you can document anything that'll just last forever. And one day, like hundreds of years, thousands of years in the future, unless something drastic happens, people can look back and see these things. So I like to document stuff like that that's happening in my life and stuff like that, and I find it interesting. But let me know if you want something like this in the same style, and just talking with the black background and talking about interesting things. And I'll definitely do another one. But yeah, thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys later.